This is a fucking thrashterpiece. I'm going to be talking about it tonight. Or today, depending on when you watch this fucking video. But yeah, here we go. Click the Dark Roots man's head if you want to skip the track-by-track review and just skip to the end, see what I think about the whole album as a whole. Okay. Track 1, Rise Up. Okay, this is a fucking anthemic track. Oh my bejesus. It's like, it's just gets right into it. It gets right into the heaviness. There's no like calm intros or anything like that. It's just like starts off with the riff and boom, there you go. You fucking are in the middle of fucking pure, relentless thrash metal that was meant to be played in a live setting. If you listen to the chorus of this, it's like what Chuck Billy does is he says a line and then it's implied that like the audience is going to say a line back in a live setting. It's really fucking cool. And it's some people might think it sounds cheesy in the studio version, but I think it sounds really cool either way. Next song, Native Blood. This is a really cool song because lyrically it's about something that's very personal for Chuck Billy, who's the vocalist of Testament, and how he feels that his voice needs to be heard as a Native American and his opinion needs to be heard. And the music really reflects that. It's a really powerful, groovy kind of song. Like a lot of other tracks on this album do, it harkens back vocally and stylistically to what Testament did on Practice What You Preach, which is really cool. I love that album, as with all their early albums. So, yeah. Next song, Dark Roots of Earth. We got the title track. This song. This one is one of the more dark, brooding songs on this album. You have a lot of variety of tracks on this album, while still maintaining a really nice consistency. You have the really thrashy songs, the really Practice What You Preachy songs, and the more, ballady song, and then the darker, brooding kind of moments on this album. And this is one of the really dark, brooding songs on this album, with a bit of thrash in the middle. But still, it's a great, epic, huge, powerful listen right from the very pounding first notes up until the end. It's fucking great. Then we have True American Hate. This is the first song finally released from this album. Everyone who's a fan of Testament's been waiting for like 4 years. Or I think as Chuck Billy put it, like 3.5. Oh no, wait, that was Michael Keane from The Faceless. Whatever! We've all been waiting a ton of a long time for the New Testament album, and when we finally got this taste of True American Hate, it was just like, oh my god, they're gonna make another great album like Formation. It's just like, that's what it was. And the two guitar solos, the back-to-back solo from Alex and Eric Peterson, is just phenomenal. It's an amazing listen. It's probably one of the best guitar solos I've heard all year. Well, I mean, it's two guitar solos, but still, it's up there with the solo from of the Leopard Butterflies. So yeah. Then we have A Day in the Death. Now this song, if you can get the iTunes version of it, there's actually a version that has Chris Adler from Lamb of Fucking God doing drums on it, which is really cool. And because his double bass technique is a bit more complex than Gene Hoglan's, because Gene Hoglan like stripped down his technicality a lot in this album as compared to like stuff he's done with, say, Strapping Young Lad or Fear Factory, because that's how Eric Peterson wanted it. But it really fits well with Testament's music. Like Gene Hoglan and Testament just mesh so fucking well, so it's great. But The Day and the Death, it's probably one of the weakest tracks on the album, but every song on this album is really strong, so that's not saying much. Then we get one of the big, cool tracks from the album. Literally. Cold Embrace. This is probably, in my opinion, I've listened to all of Testament's ballads, and I think this is the best ballad I think Testament has ever done. It's big, it's epic, and it's really emotional and touching at points. Right from the cool, serene opening chords to the powerful chorus, which goes. It's just a really powerful, extremely well structured song, like many of the other tracks on this album. Then we get Man Kills Mankind, which to some people may seem like a step down after you hear Cold Embrace. Like, Cold Embrace finishes and you're like, holy shit! Like, after hearing that, after all the other tracks on the album, you're like, what the fuck? How could they possibly top this with the next song? And they don't, but they get a fucking amazing song that I feel is going to be, like, forgotten or underrated as years pass, because there's a middle section. There's a middle section of this song that has these two riffs that I think is one of the absolute best moments on the entire album. It's like, I want to say like 1 or 2 minutes in, but there's like just this section of these two riff sections that's just, it's perfect. And then it goes back into the rest of the song, and it's like, oh, you wish they'd stay in that. And then we have another fucking masterpiece, Throne of Thorns. Holy fuck. Right from the really galloping riff that's kind of harkens back to Henchman Ride from the previous album, you know this is going to be a ride. It's just going to be a fucking ride of epic, groovy-ass thrash metal, as Testament is so fucking good at doing. And there's kind of a really cool progressive-ish section in the middle of this song. I wouldn't say it's like progressive like Dream Theater or Yes or King Crimson, but you know, it's pretty different for Testament, which is cool considering their style and stuff. And then after you hear all those tracks, you're just like amazed, like, holy fuck, Testament have put out a really good album. How could this album get any better? Then you hear the fucking opening of Last Stand for Independence, which is another one of those big thrashy songs on the album, like Rise Up and True American Hate. You're like, holy fuck! The big bang at the end, which is what it is. And I don't know what to say about it. It's just a fucking great last song on the album. You just have to listen to it. Okay. I think that's the fastest track by track I've ever done, which is good considering my past album reviews have spanned about 17 minutes. Enough of that, though. What do I think of this album as a whole? Definitely the best thrash metal album I've heard all year. Why? Because, I don't know. You know how the big four have released. All managed to release new albums within the past 5 years. You got Metallica with Death Magnetic. You got Megadeth with Endgame. And you got... Why am I forgetting the name? Worship Music. And then Slayer has World Painted Blood or Christ Illusion. Some people don't like that album, though. All of them pale completely and utterly in comparison to this. This is just like... I'm going to make a bold statement here. I think this is one of Testament's best albums. Like, one of their better ones, at least, if you don't want to think it's one of their best after you hear it. It's certainly one of their better ones, and it's became an instant favorite in my collection after I heard it all the way through. So, yeah, this is going to be the Thrasher piece for this year. The only thing that has a chance of coming close to this, thrash metal-wise, I feel like, is Monolith by Silosis, which is coming out in a bit here. But if I didn't go into as much detail about this album as some of my previous albums, it's A, because I just felt like doing this late at night, and B, because I didn't get much sleep last night. Whatever, enough about me. This is a fucking amazing album. Go buy it. Now, 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, 9.5. This is up there. It doesn't top Colossus or Portal of Eye, but this is probably one of my absolute favorite records of this year. Yeah, I like it that much. Go buy it. Bye.